Now we're cooking. It's the coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday night.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Herbert. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The Vikings send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. And this one's incomplete. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I would have loved to have been in their meetings this week and hear that grizzled old defensive coordinator talk about, well, you did okay, guys. We did all right. Holding them to 13 was pretty good. But this week, I expected to be less than that.
I'm going to need to hear that a lot more often. I don't know what it was, but I liked it. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Jackson's pass complete to number 88. No gain on play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. The numbers for him from a week ago, 20 carries, 91 yards.
After the last game, they had plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Jackson. This is caught by Robinson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson, and he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 3rd down, Bowser, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one. Touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Point after here coming up. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time. We give you a look at what's going on there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. Second straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
He's got his man, that's Wallace. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. 58 right there. Stop your whining.
So first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 23 carries, 75 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. That'll be caught by Rice. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. From the gun on third down, Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This is taken at his 4. Able to push his way through. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now Jackson, over the middle, complete. It's Fleming. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Anthony Barr brought down. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Receiver downfield. Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Let's go. 50, come on. 55.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And he's going to keep it here. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Anthony Barr brought down. It's a gain of a yard.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And out now come the Vikings. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. From the gun on third down, Herbert. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. Now a run with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I got you.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they face a difficult 3rd and 12 coming up. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Herbert underneath for Johnson. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done. For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That's complete to Robinson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Jackson, and the throw there going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Chicago. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Ready? Right. Mike 58, right there. They can't hang with us.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson, throw left side, completion to Rice. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And to give this time to the tailback. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one. I know you felt that one.
On 4th down, Matt Nagy willing to settle for 3. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
58, come on. Hey, watch the slap, watch the slap.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert. And Diggs has it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's going to take off with it. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they'll run on the draw.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3.
Ready?
From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Ready?
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Looking to throw. Herbert.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Dumping it off for Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Back to throw. Herbert.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And now out comes Minnesota. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot. And that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Throwing on 1st down. Herbert. It's complete to Diggs. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Looking to throw. Herbert. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got this down to the 35. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it was the visiting Texans who were able to come away with the road victory. A field goal, the difference. 17-14, the final. From there, we take the long trip across the country, about as far as you can go. Check on the Seahawks in Seattle. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 28-16, your final. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Jackson. And he rifles one incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now they'll run on the draw. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Down. 10-2 stop. I got it. Check 99. Check 99. Let's go.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. To throw on 2nd down. Herbert going deep for Diggs. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And the catch made by Johnson. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 6. First down, Chicago.
Right back to him on first down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Right there. Hey, we got to get the stop here, D.
On first down, Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
60 Pittsburgh.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Back to throw. Herbert, screenplay, Johnson. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals, just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 7 inches.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6.
Now Jackson on first down. And an alley to run. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And Robinson with a big catch. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. Called out a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. Third and 5. Now they'll run on the draw. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
On fourth down, Matt Nagy willing to settle for 3. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far. Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
To throw on third down. Herbert. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The dump off good for 8 there on first down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 3rd and short. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Herbert. Left side caught by Diggs. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Herbert. And he's got it. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Here comes a big one as this crowd gets out making some noise. It's 3rd and short. Now it's Jackson, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Chicago. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. A gain of 13. It's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Herbert going deep for Diggs. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. 2nd and 10. Complete. Smith has it. 2nd and 10. 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 2nd and And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Herbert. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Johnson's got it complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Herbert. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
60 Pittsburgh. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Spine. 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 No. Now.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. Back to throw. Herbert. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted to tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings now heading onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing to start the drive. Herbert, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Herbert. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Herbert. And Diggs has it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Let's make these babies cry. Get back home, yo.
2nd and 6.
Let's make these babies cry.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And Zerline's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So now the Bears down by a field goal, 1:25 to play. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Jackson to throw. That's complete to Robinson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. He's back to throw. Robinson's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw. It's a first down on a gain of 10. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Squeeze, double. Kill.
And they will take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Minnesota, the win is their 8th on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Chicago, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home.